No.
Now we are.
Okay. Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Our impromptu live stream.
Yes, absolutely. So, how are you today, Alia?
I'm good. I'm good. Let's see. I got a lot of work done, and
Okay.
yeah, that's about it. Played with the kids. They wanted to watch Godzilla versus King Kong, so we did that.
Nice. That's cool. Cool.
Yeah, Jacob. He's so cute. He's like, uh, he can't say it correctly, so it's not. It comes out really funny. It's like Odzilla.
Godzilla.
Odzilla.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's
It
awesome,
happens when you
actually.
have kids that are like bilingual and trying to learn two languages at the same time. It's very interesting.
Right.
Anyways.
That's be super cool when they get older, though, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. My daughter right
Yeah.
now, she speaks English as much as she can.
Right.
Jacob still likes the Spanish, even though he was the one born in Chicago.
Right. But I agree with him. Spanish sounds cooler than English, but,
It
you know.
does. It does. I mean, we're supposed to be talking about carnivore stuff right now, but like people say stuff in Spanish and it sounds much better when you say it in Spanish, and it just sounds kind of gross or rude if you say the same thing in English.
Right.
Like okay, so in Spanish you could call me, for instance, gordita, which means like chubby girl, but it's like a term of endearment. Like
Really?
yeah, it's not rude at all. But if you called me like a fatso in English,
Right.
I want to kill you.
Yeah. That's funny. So isn't
Yeah,
it gordita like what didn't they sell those at Taco Bell?
yeah, they do. But gordo is like fat guy, and gordita is like fat girl.
Right.
But it's not. At least in Colombia, it's not like anything considered rude. Oh, look, some people are
Right, right.
here. Christy's here. Rick is here.
Yes.
Carnivore Today is here.
Right. I got to change that perfect. There we go. Yeah, for sure. So we're here to talk about you and your carnivore journey. But
Okay.
before we start with that sort of a thing, tell us a little bit about your background in terms of, you know, where you're from and things like
Oh,
that.
sure.
I think most people know you live in Columbia now, but
Yeah, because
you
I
know,
talk about it enough.
where did you start?
I started in Evanston, Illinois. That's where I was born, Evanston. But I'm really from Chicago. I just happened to be born in Evanston. That's where we started. And let's see. I am a spirit that likes to wander. If that makes any sense.
Right.
I
Okay.
was out of the house at 16, and I
Wow.
went to New Jersey, New York, California, Dallas, all over the place. And I've been to like Boston. Like those are the places I live. I've been to like Boston, Denver. Um, yeah, and then one day I ended up in Colombia.
Nice. So
And
you're kind of like James Brown, "Living in America" song.
I don't know that song.
You
I
don't know
will
that song?
no.
We'll have to play it sometime at the cookout.
Yeah, get
He
Rex to
lists a
sing
bunch
it.
of cities that's basically like coast to coast and, you know,
Yeah.
north to south.
I've also been someone Quartzsite Carnivore, hi from Arizona. I've also been to Phoenix, and I will never go to Arizona ever again.
Right? Phoenix is
So
very hot.
hot. It was
Yes.
so hot. Oh man. Oh, I
Uh,
don't know what was worse, Houston or Arizona.
yeah, for sure.
I've also been to Ohio.
Nice.
Yeah.
The heartland, right?
The Heartland.
That's what they call it.
Well, and Wisconsin, of course.
Y-
Wisconsin carries land. But
Yep.
anyways, yeah. So uh, a couple years ago, about 8 now, I was in Bogota, and the first morning I was there, I just like opened the curtains at the hotel I was staying at. I'm like, oh my god, what is this place? It's like New York City with mountains.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, like you look off in the distance and there's like this gigantic mountain just right there, but there's all these tall buildings and it's just as busy. But the traffic is the worst thing in the world. The worst place. Yeah, that's why we don't live there mainly because it's cold. That's the other thing.
Mhm.
It's the altitude is very high. It's like higher than Denver, and it's just cold all year round. It has
Okay.
some parts of the day can be hot, And that's the funny thing. If you're outside, even if it's cold, you'll get sunburnt in like 15 minutes because I guess you're closer to the sun. Anyways.
Right, for sure.
It's
Just that little bit makes a big difference.
yeah, they say like 2 kilometers closer to the stars. That's what they like to say there as their like the
Wow.
motto. I don't know how to say it well in Spanish. So
Right.
yeah. And that's where I met my husband. It wasn't on purpose. It just happened to be that way. I wasn't like going to Latin America and hunting for a husband, but it happened.
So
And
was it
then,
love at first sight?
no,
No?
not really. No.
Did he have
but
to
a little,
convince you, or how did it work?
yeah, I think that's more what happened. But it didn't take
Okay.
a lot of convincing. And then we both wanted to have a family, and that wasn't really on either of our minds really until we met each other. It's kind of funny how that works. So hello, Brooke. So very immediately, rapidly after that, I got pregnant. Actually, surprisingly fast.
Okay.
Surprisingly fast. Sometimes
Right.
you hear like about infertility and all these things, and now I think I have a greater understanding. I think it has a lot to do with like a very plant-based diet that happens. And not that my diet was ever perfect, but I've always been like a ridiculous hamburger eater. And right before then, I was eating hamburgers so much.
Nice.
Between that and like intention,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because we had the idea, we wanted to have babies. So that's why I say it was like, I didn't realize how fast it could happen. I'm hearing
Right.
about how some people takes years.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, so then I had Jacob. We moved back to Chicago. And that was just not right. It just didn't feel right. And I missed Columbia. And he missed Columbia also. Like the culture between Columbia and Chicago or the United States is very different. Even though there's Chicago and the United States is like half Latino, still the culture is very different between the two countries. And I think I fit in better here because I'm such a chatterbox and I love to talk to everybody, and everybody just talks to everybody here. Like everybody,
Right.
you know your neighbors, you know everybody. You just, talk to random Uber drivers. I mean, I did that in the US. It just not that I feel more at home here because I still feel like an outsider, but I still love it here. Anyway, so this will get into how I gained a lot of weight, by the way, because before I got pregnant, I was never overweight, maybe like a little overweight, but no one would ever consider that I was overweight. Just like one of my friends once told me I was not overweight. I was just a whole lot of woman. But like my set point of being like the fattest was like 155 pounds. I got a little bit higher than that once, like to where I'm at right now, but I went back down doing almost a carnivore diet without realizing it. Anytime I've had success in my life, really losing weight, other when I did like the HCG diet, which is restriction with like hormones that screw up your body.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's pause. HCG is the hormone that is read on the pregnancy test. So there's that's the hormone that shows that you're pregnant. There is a diet where you take these HCG drops and you eat like, I think it was like 1,200 calories or less a day. And that was the beginning of destroying my hormones, by the way. Destroying my body was doing that because I got super fat afterwards. I lost like 30 pounds or 20 pounds in like 20 days. And then you just go back to how you were eating before, slowly but surely. And then the weight just went, that is never. Okay, so that was in my 20s. So later I did sort of like a keto carnivore sort of diet, more on the meat side, I think. There was still plant foods involved, but I had not yet destroyed my thyroid, so I lost the weight. Fast forward, pregnant. I gained 80 pounds in that first pregnancy. And then life happened to be very stressful, and I was just eating worse and worse and worse during the pregnancy, like just indulging.
Right.
You don't eat for two people.
Because you deserved it, right?
Somebody deserved it. My whole face swelled up. My nose got big. I looked like, you hear the term mama bear? I literally looked like a bear.
Yeah. Wow.
I'll have to find a photo. I was so big. Anyway, so Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look, Craig Coons. You should pop up 8:40 p.m. I did HCG with my wife. It messed her up. Yeah, exactly. I was successful. The next one down. The next one down. Yeah, exactly. It's terrible.
Sounds
So
scary.
yeah, it's really dumb. You know, here this should have been the first clue that me and my friend who she was already very skinny. We found this diet at the Texas State Fair. That should have been our first clue to not do like a diet program being sold at the Texas State Fair. When we bought these expensive drops, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I gained 80 pounds when Jacob was born, but in that pregnancy, and then afterwards, I just kept putting on the weight, and then I found out I had a thyroid condition. When you have a thyroid condition, it's very easy to put weight on, and apparently, through my experience, hard to take it off. Even though I had a thyroid condition, I was dead set on having my second and only two kids. I wanted one boy, one girl in that sequence, and I needed both of them before I was 35 because apparently 35 is like the deadline when your eggs go bad.
Nice.
So
Rotten
11
eggs
months.
after that point, huh?
Yeah, rotten eggs. They don't work anymore, apparently.
All right.
No, here in Colombia, if you have a baby after 35, they will like mark various things and say you're a high risk pregnancy just due to your age.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Yeah. So now I have a totally different viewpoint on that. So basically I had gotten up to, I keep thinking it was like 224, 225. That was like my heaviest. And I could be wrong. Maybe I was 215, but that's when I got pregnant with my second daughter. So again, it's really funny for me. I was still eating lots of like beef burritos and lots of hamburgers. It was just all the other stuff added in there that wasn't good. It was always so easy for me to just get pregnant when we are actually trying, like within a month of intentionally trying, not accidentally trying.
Right.
But my weight was a problem. Funny enough, during my second pregnancy, which was so close to my first one, I lost a lot of weight. I couldn't eat. I was having a really hard time eating. Acid reflux. I lost like, I think 40 pounds in that pregnancy.
Wow.
Brianna came out totally fine. She's happy and healthy. But I was so big, the doctors were fine that I gained 0 weight and then my weight went down. So I think that's a good point that here they were happy. They were also surprised that I didn't have like high blood pressure because I was so big. Like everything seemed to be normal. Okay, so at the end, oh, my mom's here. She's watching on Facebook. Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Thanks for watching. It's my friend Adam. So I'm explaining all this because I've now stayed between the weight of my heaviest ever and then about where I am now when I lost a lot of weight in that pregnancy. But it just, over the years, it kind of crept back up. And I was eating lots of vegetables during this time. And I don't hate vegetables, actually. I wish I could eat vegetables. I love the salads I made. And I didn't know. However, I stopped eating a lot of red meat, except when we would go out and I would eat my hamburgers on the weekends. I was eating more like chicken. I was scared of pork because when I originally got here, pork made me feel really bad in Colombia. And now after years of like slowly building it back up, I can eat pork here. So what's funny is I really changed how I was eating. My mom says, hello, Adam.
Hi, Mom.
I really changed how I was eating. And I'm not going to say at points, there was like times I was trying to be like very good keto, very strict, eat lots of vegetables, eat super dried out chicken, don't eat so much red meat. Definitely can't eat the pork. I don't want to feel nauseated. And I specifically remember like feeling very bad after eating a lot of salads. And I thought that it was like, not that the salads were making me feel bad, even though now I know that was the case. I thought something was wrong with my body. Do you get what I'm saying? And so I just kept this cycle. And then it's not 100% how I'm going to explain it, but just realize this was like a cycle that I went through. So then my stomach would hurt. And then I would stop eating the vegetables. Then I would waste the vegetables. And how much wasted money do we have in those vegetables? Like so much wasted money. because they would just rot in the fridge. I was
Right.
even commenting tonight, like we're saving money by not wasting our food. Like
Yes.
so much,
Yep.
maybe a little goes to waste. Like if my kids don't eat something and we don't finish it for them, but it's like a lot different than how it used to be. So the cycle would go, I would try to be good and do keto how I thought was the best way I could do it. Lots of vegetables and chicken and maybe something else, which happens to sound like or fish that was like low fat fish.
Right.
What was I thinking? And there would be times when I would do like moderate salads with like fish and eggs and I could lose the weight, but I was never able to stick to that. Or if I did these huge salads and it would make me feel bad, I would get IBS. And the funny thing is when my stomach would be upset, I would start craving like bread and carbohydrates. So it was like a cycle. Try to be good. Try to be good. Can't be good. Eat carbohydrates, get fatter. Get more upset about my weight and just like get more upset, cry about my weight, have long hours discussions with my husband. How do I handle my weight? And then we would like go back and forth about it. So this went on for like 6 years until at the end I was like, I don't know, not really an apathy because I had hope with the carnivore diet because I'd been studying enough about it and studying enough about how to eat like a meat-based diet. Hi, Karen. I'm trying not to be in the chat because I'm trying to explain, but hello. Let's see. So where was I? But there were times that I was I don't know how many times I cried about my weight in the last 6 years because I just felt hopeless. And now it was crazy that within a week of starting the carnivore diet, all of the IBS, which I really didn't get into, I mainly talked about my weight, but I had lots of like IBS symptoms, diarrhea on and off for years, bloating, stomach cramps, pain. And again, I just thought that it never connected that it had to do with the food that I was eating. I know. Does that make any sense? I thought it always had to do with the fact that my stomach wasn't strong enough or something. Not that actually I shouldn't be eating these foods that are a poison to my body. So along came Dr. Ken Berry on my YouTube. It was funny because it was actually being shown to me for a long time. I don't know how long before I finally was like, oh, fine, I'm going to watch one of your videos.
Right.
And then I went,
was it one of the Dr. Berryfinger videos?
It had to be something about something. Yeah. I don't even remember what it was, but I'm like, okay, I'll watch one. And then, hearing that Southern accent, I was hooked. And then I just binged so many videos. And then I fell down the carnivore YouTuber rabbit hole, meaning following the YouTubers on carnivore. And then I started a channel when I started carnivore. My first video was like day 3 on carnivore saying, oh my God, it's like 5 a.m., whatever. Some short, like I had so much energy and was walking around on day number 3 outside at 5 a.m. And within like a week, that IBS was like gone. And then all these other things started changing. But like 6 years of stomach pain, I don't know how many times I would like email my boss. I got to lie down. I feel really bad right now. I think I have food poisoning. Like, I'll get back to work soon. Like, this was not an uncommon thing for me to email my boss, be like, I have food poisoning. I thought it was food poisoning, or I have something, or I got to take a break. I'll be back in an hour. Like, or not do that and just sit here and just be in pain. And oh my God, just not TMI, but every morning I would be like, like I was like a super morning farter in the morning. I had to like clean out my system. I don't even fart anymore, or it's like very rare. It's weird. I think carnivores don't really have gas.
Carnivores
like,
don't fart.
Carnivores don't fart. Well, sometimes, but not like how it used to be. Oh
right.
man.
Yeah.
So that's basically my story. And now in October, I'm 7 months. I'm going to say I'm not perfect. I drank water with lime last night. The point for me is I just don't want to feel like poop, and I do want to keep losing weight. And I stay away from most fruits and vegetables. I like lime and I like lime water. So shoot me. I'm still going to call myself a carnivore. Like, cause that's all, it's like 99% of what I eat in my coffee.
There you go.
And water.
I identify as a carnivore too. So
identify as a carnivore.
There you go.
Yeah,
it is exactly what it
is. Like I don't want to get into all these labels, even this way I don't have any special like carnivore name in my YouTube title, but I do want to talk to people about the fact that, hey, you feel like poop, possibly if you just eat like mainly animal products, you're gonna feel a lot better and very fast. And yeah, you don't have to. I'm reading all the fart comments. But the point is, like, yeah, this is a way, a lifestyle, a way of eating, and I've never stuck to a specific way of eating this long ever in my life, other than the McDonald's diet.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Or here, El Corral is their burger place, but I found way better burger places since then. But recently, I told my husband I finally matured. I've graduated from hamburgers to steaks, and he was so happy to hear that.
Nice.
Oh my God.
These are some really good comments here. I love
There are
this.
some great comments. And I'm not going to go back. That's not to say like things that I struggle with. Cheese. I struggle with cheese. I love cheese. I don't
Right.
eat as much as I used to. No carbon emissions coming from carnivores. That's the next comment that just popped up.
Nice.
And I don't think I'm ever going to go back. There's no way I'm going to go back to. I've gone to so many kids' birthday parties. I didn't even eat the cake. Like it's not
Wow,
even in my
that's
mind
impressive.
when I go, because I know that if I eat that, I'm going to feel very bad. And I've done like specific tests, like I told you about the honey and the meringue. Great idea. First bite, third bite, terrible. Felt terrible for hours. Just draw an animal face on your lime. Yes, I will do that. I will do that.
There's your next video.
Also, like, we're getting so much smarter on like more ways to not waste food. So we haven't eaten chicken in a long time. We got an air fryer. My kids are asking for chicken. And now cooking chicken in this air fryer, I love it again. And today we made chicken, and all the juices fell to the bottom of the air fryer. So we ate delicious chicken thighs and chicken legs. Is it chicken legs or drumsticks? Not the feet. We didn't eat the feet. We ate juicy parts of the chicken. But all the fat drained. And then my husband's like, look at all this fat. So then he boiled it with water, and all of a sudden we had like this delicious fatty soup.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
It's like, you don't wait. It's so much less waste, and you get so many other good ideas of how to utilize your food. Anyways,
for
there
sure.
you go. What's your next question? Now that I spent an hour answering that one.
So all right. So you had mentioned thyroiditis. So
I think it's called hypothyroidism.
Hypothyroid.
Hypo is it's the opposite of fast. It's slow.
That one.
That one. The slow thyroid.
What is that like?
So when I first had it, here's a few things that happen. You hear that your hair falls out. So I don't know, because your hair falls out also like when you've just had a baby, and I had just had a baby. So, and my hair still constantly falls out. So I can't tell, but that's like one symptom of hypothyroidism. Feeling tired, which I felt exhausted for a very long time, which was also probably related to the food and not able to sleep. I think insomnia is part of it also. Not that I was like 100% an insomniac, but I had terrible sleep for years. And again, I think it's all related to not eating the proper foods you're supposed to be eating as a human being. Because once I changed that, all these things started magically happening. Weight gain is a common symptom, and impossibility to lose weight or very slow, hard weight loss is a definite like hallmark of hypothyroidism. So basically your thyroid is not producing, and there's a ton of other symptoms, like no sex drive is a symptom of that. I have a list. I keep looking over here because there's a book that lists all the symptoms of it. But any of those symptoms that I mentioned, just the symptoms just get handled within days of eating a proper human diet. And so I don't know. I have my blood results here from 2 tests, and I wish I could find the test that I got like 7 years ago or whatever, because I hope hypo low thyroid, hyper high thyroid produces too much T4. Okay, good. No. Anyways, 7 years ago, the doctor said something like, and maybe I could be making this up, but this is what is stuck in my mind, so I'm pretty sure it's true. he said your numbers are dangerously high, your thyroid numbers. And so that scared me a little bit to start taking the medication. Even though I didn't want to. And I took it for a little while and I hated it. It made me feel worse. So I just stopped taking it with my dangerously high thyroid numbers.
That's gone.
That's out of here.
Nice.
I'm like, because I read in this book, let me see, I think it's called the Power of Your Metabolism. If you're taking like synthetic thyroid medicine, it's going to like replace your thyroid, I guess. Anyways, I didn't want anything to actually screw up what was still working. I didn't want to take something to suppress the actual function of whatever was left with my thyroid. So when I was pregnant with Brianna, I did take some. I don't remember how long because the doctors convinced me that I had to for the baby. Okay, I'll do it for the baby, but I'm not going to do it for me.
Right.
So
I love that.
Let's see here. Basically, there's 3 things they test. There's a thing called TSH, which is a hormone, and I believe, and somebody else can correct me if I'm wrong. I'll be very general. It's a hormone that's produced by the brain to tell the thyroid to start working. And then there's 2 other hormones, T3 and T4, that represent the function of the thyroid in the body. So for me, I've always had very high TSH, and then the other numbers were a little bit above normal. So the very high TSH is the brain telling the thyroid to start working, and it's not working. That's my understanding of it. Everyone listening, if I'm wrong and I'm saying a bunch of baloney, sorry, but that's my understanding of it from other YouTubers.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, okay, good. So what I remember, so the only thing that's a little bit confusing is that these numbers here are represented differently than in the United States. But I think that the TSH was like 10 or something. That number kind of rolls around in my brain. It might have been 100. I'm just trying to remember because here it says it's in the thousands. So, but it's calculated differently. But anyways, I took these thyroid tests at the end of May, and the TSH was still above normal. Like the highest it should be per this like chart is 4.9 something. And at that time it was still 5.1486, whatever. Or 51,000 actually is what it says. That's why I said I'm trying to make it less confusing. So it says 49,000 here, and it was 51,000. So let's just call it 4.9 and 5.1. And then the other 2 were, one was in range and the other 2 were in range. It was just the TSH was high per the blood tests chart. I could go to a doctor. I have insurance. I just don't want to tell them to put me on levothyroxine, for instance. I did take that. I don't want to take that. So, and I haven't found, there is a recommended one. Somebody in the comments, the desiccated pig one, I don't remember the name of it, but I haven't found it yet. And I should look for it. Let's see. And now I just did my blood work again at the beginning of the month, and the TSH was actually in the range. It was 4.606 under 4.9. So it went in range. I still think there's a lot more work to do to get it actually functioning. And then the other numbers seem to be in range also. So the point is that I believe that just continuing how I'm eating, I do, when I remember, I take iodine.
Okay.
As a recommendation of Dr. Berry and Dr. Elizabeth Bright. But that and eating, I'm not going to say very strict, pretty dang strict carnivore diet has changed these blood tests with no medicine. I mean, the iodine, with no thyroid medication. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Because I think that I was talking to my doctor friend, he's a neighbor, and I was talking about my test results with him, and I just showed him these new test results. I just did a screenshot of it because I didn't want to show him my cholesterol numbers, which happen to be right under it.
Right.
And you have to understand my Spanish is okay, right? But speaking like medical terms and stuff is a little harder, but it seemed like there was a little bit of disbelief. And I was trying to like tell him, look, all I'm doing a month ago, this was 5.51. And he's like, he'd never heard of that. He said I had never heard diet handling that. But
Really?
yeah, and at one point, he might have been thinking, because it was like the conversation was a little confusing because I was trying to explain years ago how it was. But he said
Mm-hmm.
that he thinks some tests, he said maybe they were wrong, like the test
Mm-hmm.
results were wrong. But it was clear that for him that he's never heard of thyroid changing just from diet. And
Wow.
well,
So you schooled him.
yeah, but not in a bad way. He's my friend. Our kids play together. Like, I was just more interested to hear like what he had to say about it, because even his wife is also a doctor. And months ago, she was like, "You need to get on thyroid medication." Way before I was on carnivore, she's like, "You need to get on thyroid medication." And from what I understand, she has like the opposite. Like, she says she can't put on weight, and she's very thin, and she eats and eats and eats, and she can't put on weight. So she has the opposite problem. Like, she wishes she could put on weight. And I'm not going to tell them what they're doing is incorrect, because
Right.
that's futile.
Right. Might come across wrong.
If you tilt your camera down, you won't look so short. I've tilted it all the way. I've tilted it all the way, Bob. Let's see.
Bob's got jokes.
Let's see. Is that better, Bob?
There you go. Now you're really tall.
I am short. I'm 5'4". Adam, how tall are you? Say you're 6 feet, so then they understand that.
There you go. Yeah, I'm 7 feet. That's hilarious. So your numbers seem to be getting better in regards
They seem
to
to
that,
be
right?
getting better. Yeah.
So
I mean,
aside from the numbers, like what other complications have you had? Are there other complications that were worse before but better now? Having that?
I think moodiness has something to do with it. I think if your thyroid is off, sorry, I just read Sean White's comment. Nobody's singing tonight. Nobody's singing tonight. Especially not me. I'm getting paid not to sing. What was your question? I'm sorry. Oh, I think moodiness. And I don't know if I just, I used to okay, we got to explain something.
Mm-hmm.
After my daughter was born, for almost 2 years or a year and a half, I had no menstrual cycle when I was nursing her.
For 2 years?
For like 2 years.
Wow.
And I also, let's back up. When I didn't have a period for a while with Jacob after my pregnancy, and I started taking progesterone cream, which was some other like miracle solution I was trying to use to lose weight, that just, ladies, you want to get in the sack real quick? Try that progesterone cream. That brought my period back like that instantly. And then I got pregnant with Brianna. But it was part of my plan anyways. And that was part of my mental plan and my timeline to have my kids. So it just aligned with that. Mm-hmm. But no, not having your menstrual cycle, you feel really crazy actually. So for 2 years, I'm nursing, maybe a year and a half. And then I went on to a ladies group like, hey, ladies, I haven't had a period in such a long time. I feel bad. I would cry at the drop of a hat. And this is not common for me. Like, you hear me now, this is normal me. This is way more normal me. But, just like emotions up and down, crying. And I don't believe in bipolar or any of that stuff, just so you guys know. I think like if you feel this way, sorry that I don't want to be discriminatory or whatever, but you can handle it with food. You can handle it by eating the right foods and getting your hormones back on track. So I went to a ladies group and they told me to do something called seed cycling and oil cycling. And crazy enough, eating like eating very specific bird seeds and specific fish oils in a specific sequence brought my menstrual cycle back in 3 weeks.
What?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
That is strange.
It is very strange. And I've talked about my menstrual cycle a lot. And before babies, had a horrendous, terrifying menstrual cycle, and I have videos about that. So to be in the state of mind that I had to get my period back, because I felt so off physically by not having a menstrual cycle, so I just forced it back into existence, and crazy enough, it worked. Wow. But so that sort of got my moods back in normal, and I wasn't crying so much so easily. Mm-hmm. Oh man, looking back, when your body, when you're not sleeping, when you're up all night with a 2-year-old, a baby or whatever, you just had kids and your body is so messed up.
Right.
It really will affect you mentally. And my daughter didn't sleep for a good 2 years at night. And I was watching a lot of The Witcher over and over again and a lot of Netflix. Henry Cavill.
Right. Yeah.
In the middle of the night. And so then I would get up and I would start working again. Like she would go to sleep at 4. I think I would sleep from like 11 to like 1, and then like 1 to 4 I was awake with her. And then this went on for years. So oh wow, that's crazy. Robin, that's crazy.
Wow.
Wait, have you gone through menopause? Because that's crazy. Oh, it only happened once. Okay. Oh wow. I've heard somebody else mention something similar to that. So that helped. Getting my menstrual cycle back helped, but I still didn't feel like even keel normal Alia. And I used to think a few times, like, I wish I could feel like how I used to feel, because I don't know why I don't feel spiritually and mentally how I used to feel. And that would be a thought I would have regularly. Again, I had no idea. It was because I was like, literally, if you think about it, eating these wrong foods, you're literally poisoning yourself. It's like taking drugs. Not that I've taken drugs ever in my life, other than I was a cigarette smoker for a very long time. I don't even like alcohol, but
Right.
I think it's the same thing. I think like you're addicted to these substances and you keep putting them in your body, and you're like slowly but surely destroying your body. And that's going to have a ramification on your mind. That's going to affect your mind if you're not eating and sleeping properly. And those two things go hand in hand. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I want to say about that. And I just felt so much better detoxifying. Really, you think vegetables, you hear vegetables are detoxifying your body. No, they're inflaming your body. And okay, I can't say that 100% for 100% of people, 100% of the time, 100% of the cases. Like, I really can't say that, because I know that people are gonna not agree with me. And maybe it's true.
Right.
But for me, and for many people in our community, we experience the same thing with veggies. And it's sad for me. And it's sad for me. Because I do like vegetables.
Right.
Oh, wait. I like the thought of vegetables, and I do like the way they taste in my mouth.
I don't.
No?
Not even a little bit.
No.
The only thing I liked was the vinegar and olive oil, but I really just the vinegar. Vinegar. I love
yeah,
vinegar.
no, that's what I like. Oh, maybe that's what I like, to help the vegetables go down.
If you eat just lettuce by
Olives.
itself, it just tastes not that good, in my
That's
opinion.
true. But except I love olives and pickles. I do love olives and
Yeah,
pickles.
we know you love the pickles.
I do. Except glucose pickles.
Right.
Did I answer your question? And I see you have a question here from One Hope for All.
Let's see. Where is it?
It's at 9:08.
10:08, you mean?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Are you on Eastern?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Eastern.
It says, I'm back. Thank you for coming back. Been listening, but couldn't chat. Question. Did you breastfeed your babies? Yes. And I will explain. I didn't get my period for 2 years, but that's because I nursed my baby for at least 2 years. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So with Jacob, I think it was like 11 months. And actually that coincides. Even now I talked about that progesterone cream stuff, that maybe it was 9 or 10 months that I was breastfeeding him. But I also was working outside the house. So he was getting the bottle a lot. We made some formula at home, but we didn't feed him. I think he had like some terrible like formula from the store once, but otherwise we made a formula at home with goat milk or something. It was better ingredients. But so he was doing breastfeeding and a bottle, so that I could be working and my husband could be working when we were in Chicago. With my daughter, I breastfed her, I think it was 3 years and 4 months. And I tried to stop at 2 years and I could not. On her birthday, we were preparing her up to her second birthday. On her second birthday, we're done. No more boobs. They say tetas. Okay, no más tetas. No more boobs. And then her second birthday rolled around. And at her birthday, she was like, at her birthday party, I'm like, okay, just today. So just today went for another year, I think 4 months.
Nice.
And my husband and I had to go on like a weekend away, and she stayed with a grandma and her uncle. And when I came back, I said the milk's dried up. And there was one more nursing session, and then there was no more. And there was crying, but we had to stop. I had to stop at 3 years. It was just too much. But the way that was possible is that I was working from home, so I could do that. Yeah, it was more. After a while, it was just like a comfort thing for her because she was drinking coffee out of a cup, like
right,
eating food. She loves coffee. Like she didn't need to be breastfed anymore.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's see. I know one thing that has affected you in your health in the past is the endometriosis.
Yeah.
So can you speak a little bit about that in terms
Yeah,
of maybe how it affected you then and now that you're on a carnivore diet?
I will say never was diagnosed with that, but I don't know what else it could have been. Don't have any clue what it could have been. I remember my first terrible cycle when I was like 13, and I just started. I can't explain the pain. I tried to once, and someone laughed at me or commented like, "How do you know what that feels like?" It was like a rusty knife stabbing you there repeatedly, and in your uterus, maybe in the butt, but there also for hours. Yikes. And then it would kind of like roll up, and nausea, headaches, back pain, and terrible pain. I don't know how to explain this pain, except that's one way I would explain it. And I don't know what being stabbed with a rusty knife feels like, but if you did, I think that feels worse. I think endometriosis actually feels worse. And
wow.
I was listening to a doctor who was like, if you have endometriosis, these are some of the symptoms. Writhing around on your floor is not a normal symptom of a menstrual cycle. You could have fooled me. I didn't know that. I thought that was normal. If you were in so much pain, you're just like in the fetal position on the floor.
Ouch.
Yeah. So this went on for years. Can I say that it happened every time? I don't know, because I can't remember 20 years of menstruation. I just remember the pain. I can't remember the first time that I felt really bad and someone's like, you should go, saw me and was like, you need to go home, because that's how bad I looked. And I was like, I don't know how to explain it. Another girl was saying how she would crawling to her office. Yeah, you are very lucky. You never, Scott, and you don't have to have a baby come out of you. Right. That might be more painful.
I agree, Scott.
A girl, I was watching another YouTube video, and someone was saying their testimonial about endometriosis, and she said she'd broken her shoulder, and that was less painful. So could you imagine breaking a bone in your body, include your shoulder, and that being less painful? And someone commented on my channel about having a kidney stone. So I don't know if she's had endometriosis and a kidney stone, but she said a kidney stone he said a kidney stone sounds preferable or is preferable. So I've never had a kidney stone. And I think like usually when I talk about this, people have like a blank stare because they don't understand the pain. So after I had kids, it dramatically changed. First, I didn't have periods for a menstrual cycle for a long period of time. And I remember, so there's two things with it. It could be genetic. And my mom said she had terrible periods, and my grandmother apparently had terrible periods. I never knew her. She died before I was born. But the doctors told my grandma, as the story goes, that she would never have children. And maybe it was connected to having endometriosis. Because infertility, which is very surprising for me. So there's a lot to say about your mental state, by the way, on a subject. If you are like, your intention is there and nothing's getting in your way, that's what happened for me. And my mom also, she had 4 kids in 4 years. So, and my grandmother. So 3 generations of these menstrual cycles. But apparently my aunts didn't experience this, and my sister never experienced this. So that's interesting also. Interesting point. Yeah. So just my grandma, me, and my mom. And my mom said it got better after she had kids. So I had that in my mind that maybe this will get better. Maybe this will be better. Things that helped, unfortunately, endometriosis, those pain would be on the pill. When I was on the pill, that helped. But I wasn't on it continuously for years, because apparently that will also affect your fertility. it can be a great problem for your fertility, I've heard. And then the other thing was Vicodin. I
Right.
got a dental operation once, and it was like it somehow like lined up with my menstrual cycle, and the operation went bad. I had this thing called dry socket, and that's like a baseball
Right.
bat hitting you in the
Uh-huh.
face. Have you had dry socket? It's terrible. So
I've
the
heard of it.
doctor, oh man, awful. My dentist, he gave me a cocktail of Vicodin, some fake Vicodin, like not Vicodin, but like Vicodin, what is it called? Generic Vicodin.
Right.
And Tylenol 800. So Tylenol 800 in combination with generic Vicodin, I had no pain.
Wow.
No pain. I was like, oh, no pain. But if anyone's ever had Vicodin, you feel terrible. Like that's next level terrible. I think this is why oh man, instantly you feel, I don't know, it was like a zombie. I was like a psycho zombie, but it would just make you go unconscious. That's what it did to me. It was just that combination. It was like one 8-hour period, take the Vicodin, and the next 8-hour period, take the Tylenol, and the next 8-hour period, take. So I was on this, I don't know, like 2 weeks. And then I'm like, I got to stop taking this stuff. This is nuts.
Right.
But I was like, oh, is this what a menstrual cycle feels like with no pain? I mean, I can't feel my mind or my heart either, but that's fine.
I can't feel myself.
I can't feel anything. I have no feelings.
Right. Wow.
I'm void of anything. I feel bad for people that are like pain pill poppers, because I think that's what they must not experience any feeling of anything, and that's
right. Well, that
but
sounds terrible.
It's terrible. So even in my mind, I was like, I'm never going to take this stuff again. And even though I knew what it felt like to not have a painful menstrual cycle, I'd rather that than feel like a zombie.
Nice.
So I don't know how to explain it. So anyways, all right, fast forward. Had babies, didn't have periods for a long time. Fast forward again. Have menstrual cycles, sometimes annoying, sometimes not annoying. There was this pain that I would get more recently where it was like a pulling from my knees to my groin, like a repeated pulling, and that would hurt. That was painful. But the funny thing is that when the pain is less than it was before, it's not so bad. I don't know. So now I'm on carnivore for 3 weeks, and I'm even eating. I'm sure I'm not doing it perfectly, but I've cut out all the sugar. I've cut out the refined carbohydrates. I'm eating lots of meat. I'm eating lots of red meat. And then my period shows up early. It shows up early, and I had zero pain. And I was like, how far can my jaw drop to the floor?
Right.
Like, wait a second, people. No one has to experience this pain. Like any period pain, I don't think it's actually supposed to exist. And even my friend Nurse Kim is like, no, they're supposed to have some pain. And I'm like, no, I don't think we're supposed to have any pain, because I experienced none. And now I've had some cramping and stuff since then. So maybe some cramping is going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but that's different than excruciating pain where you're writhing on the floor, or you go unconscious because the air conditioner is the right temperature and you just go unconscious. Like that happens once, like so much pain. Like I almost fainted once in a team meeting. I almost fainted because of the pain. I had to like run out through a group of people before I fainted. Like this sort of pain. I could give a jillion stories, but I think it's I've conveyed it enough. So then to have nothing that first cycle, and then random cramping here and there, it's still much more livable. You can live through it. Your life is not destroyed. Actually, me and my husband, we saw Oppenheimer a couple weeks ago, and that was the day that my menstrual cycle started. And I was reflecting on the fact that it's even possible on the day that my menstrual cycle started that I can go on a date with my husband.
Wow.
Yeah, like 20 years ago.
That's markedly better than writhing around on the floor in pain
for hours.
Wow.
Or yeah. So I'm even from that, even if I lose no more weight, if nothing else happens, I'm going to be a big proponent of this diet, because I don't think I want to find that 13-year-old that was me and tell her and help her, like, look, you don't have to go through this pain anymore. You just got to stop eating the French fries. You got to stop eating the McDonald's. You got to stop drinking the Dr. Peppers. You got to
Mhm.
eat a whole foods diet that your body needs, and you're not going to experience it. I think you're not going to experience this pain. And the good thing is, I've now heard other stories of other girl carnivores that have had similar results. So it's not just special to me that this happened. It happens
Mhm.
other. I don't know how we would have survived the ages, the millennium, if all of us were feeling this way all the time. And I just need to put a
Yeah.
plug in. So for this, if I haven't
Mhm.
found a woman that knows this, and you see a woman and she's acting, and you're like, oh, she's PMSing, she's being a bitch. You don't understand the possible pain that she's going through, and she has to be at work because people don't understand that what we're going through, but we're still going to work. We're still trying to do what we can do, and sometimes some girls can't. Sometimes some ladies can't even do that. But I just want people to understand that, yeah, it's not okay if we're like a little bit like like a cat or whatever, a little feisty. But the amount of pain that some women experience, it's amazing at all that they haven't killed you.
Nice.
Pain is very close to anger. It's like very similar wavelength.
Wow. Yeah,
Thank you, Heather. Thank you.
that's one of the
So
reasons why I wanted to get you on for an
yeah,
interview. Is these sorts of issues, the female issues and problems, because uh, I've kind of noticed that it, the carnivore community doesn't really touch too much on these female specific issues and problems.
yeah,
And at least to me, it seems a little bit more, I don't know, debilitating, or
it's
just
debilitating.
affects
It's the
your
word.
everyday life a lot more, because
Yeah.
it's like with cycles, it happens repetitive, month
Hmm.
after month after month after month,
Right.
and it could be a week or two at a time where you're experiencing
Right.
these things. So it's important for people to understand that eating this way can potentially alleviate a lot of these conditions.
Yeah. It's true. I 100% agree with that. Now that I've experienced it, 100%. Yeah, and I'm glad. Yeah, I want to talk. I want to get to talk to more women about this. And I was trying to talk to some women in the Facebook group that I'm in, and I didn't get many takers. So at least maybe I'll talk here. And maybe they didn't have that problem. I had a couple people say, yeah, me also, but it changed after I had kids. So I'm talking in a mom's group. So it's not really, they're not necessarily the right audience, but I hope I can find some 13-year-olds. I hope.
Right.
And I know that maybe sounds funny, but I want to reach those girls because they don't need to go through 20 years of pain. And pain affects people differently also. Like me, I have like a sort of chipper personality. So, and for me, it was the first 24 hours. The next day
Hmm.
was painful, but I could deal with it and I would just be grumpy. And then the next
Right.
day, it just got better.
Hmm.
And I don't want to say, I would just be like, I would just, in my mind every month, I hope that this month isn't going to be terrible. I hope that this month wouldn't be terrible. And that was my hope every month. It's except if I was on the pill, that worked. But don't go on the pills. Don't go on the pill, ladies. Don't do it. Don't do these hormonal birth controls. They're plant based, and they're specific toxins they're putting in your body to stop your cycle from happening. Or I mean, it makes it look like your cycle is normal, but it stops pregnancy. So I wouldn't do that. There's another question. 1023. 1023.
Question.
I was on a live chat a few days ago. I don't know what that group is. They said they were starting something for women. Oh yeah.
That's
Christy, if you
Ellie.
are still Christy and Ellie, Christy, if you're in the chat, can you mention your show and when your stream is going to be? Yeah, they're going to do that. It happens to be on Tuesday night, so I'm not going to be able to do that because I have I'm otherwise engaged on Tuesdays.
We grilling, baby.
We're grilling, baby. But Meeting Wellness, that's who is doing that with Ellie at and Nourishment Redacted and Lexi.
Yep.
What's Lexi's channel?
I don't
Lexi.
remember.
Lexi. Sorry, her name's Lexi.
Yeah.
I'm a little blank right now. There you go.
Yep. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine being being in a position where you're not looking forward to the next month. So any time frame. I mean, that just sounds like it sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
It
mean, you
does.
you know what I'm saying for sure. But it's like that's
Yeah,
just,
no.
certain things that men don't really think about,
Yeah, it's
Going
true.
through it's one thing, but then also mentally knowing that it's coming up and,
Oh, yeah, mentally, and you're like, okay. So I forgot one thing that would happen also like a couple days before is I would get like pain here, like very bad shoulder pain, and it would just like start up through here. Never been diagnosed with migraines, so I don't know if I was having migraines monthly before the actual pain started. I would just have all this pain in my head here. It
Mhm.
was like a whole thing. But yeah, I just remember my 20s. Okay, please don't be terrible this month. Please don't be terrible this month, or like, and I tried so many things and I asked for help from so many people. Like, and here's what's funny. Here's what's funny is that I thought what I was experiencing was normal and common to all women. I thought I had a low threshold of pain.
Wow.
So another time
Interesting.
I was like introspecting and thinking something's wrong with me. Yes, something was wrong with my body, but I was not looking at it from the right angle. Like if I would have
Mhm.
thought that, oh, maybe this is not normal, maybe I should go talk to like a gynecologist or something, not
Mhm.
just sitting there, oh, this is normal because girls tell me they have cramps. So this is a cramp.
Mhm.
It's not. It's something completely different. Um,
Right.
and just to clarify, what it is you have this uterus lining. It's called endometriosis, and it grows outside, and it's very sticky, and it sticks itself onto different body parts that it's not supposed to stick on. So and it is very hormone receptive. It
Mhm.
changes with your hormonal pattern. So the hormone that gets the uterus to go like this to shed the lining during your menstrual cycle, it's doing that in various weird places. That's not supposed to be doing that, and that's why
Interesting.
you get all the crazy pain. So I forgot to mention it's genetic, and I mentioned possibly that's why I am able to have it genetically, potentially from my grandmother and my mom, but it's
Mhm.
also autoimmune. Potentially, it's considered an autoimmune issue, and carnivore handles autoimmune issues almost
For
instantly.
sure.
So if someone has this and it's autoimmune or genetic and autoimmune, it's so easy. It's like so simple to handle. And so even when I ask for help, people are like, take this XYZ cranberry extract tea or something. There's something called tea bark. And I tried that. Tree bark. Tea bark? No, uterus bark. Some weird thing called a bark. It was some sort of like tree part, and I
Bark,
would boil it
right?
and I would drink it, and it really didn't help. I will say though, if I wasn't, if I wasn't I took evening primrose oil, and I do recommend girls take evening primrose oil. And I understand that it comes from a plant, but if you've experienced this pain and if you tried evening primrose oil and did carnivore for a month, I think your symptoms would totally change. And when I was smart and I would take that like religiously, that was probably one of the only things that actually helped. I don't know why. I'm not a scientist, but that was probably the only
Interesting.
one good piece of advice that ever helped me with that. So there you go.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if
Well,
anyone has any menstrual issues, do carnivore, eat high fat carnivore, high fat, like eat that bacon, eat that butter, eat those eggs, and take evening primrose oil. And like I said, I know that's not carnivore, but you've never experienced this pain. And once you have experienced this pain, you would be willing to try anything to get rid of it and naturally better. Then, okay, what's this question? 24 CFI fan question. You mentioned McDonald's. Are you aware of any health concerns on the hamburger patties? I buy them and remove that. I do not. And I do not eat at McDonald's. I live in Columbia, and there is one McDonald's in the entire city, and I do not go there. But I do not
wow.
know about hamburger patty concerns. I do know that Kelly Hogan eats at McDonald's, and she gets her hamburger patties. And I saw a uh, what is it called? A short from Dr. Ken Berry, and he tells you how to order hamburger patties from McDonald's to get pipe and hot hamburger patties. So I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he said
Yeah.
pipe and hot.
Yeah, I think he said, it's the quarter pounders that's 100% beef and salt. The cheeseburgers, I'm not sure. I think he said there was some kind of a difference with the cheeseburgers, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't eat there either, McDonald's, and I did, go there one time, because I saw that Dr. Berry video, and I'm like, yeah, can I get a quarter pounder beef patty off of the a la carte menu? You know, I felt really special because I was in the know. You know, they have an a la carte menu,
Yeah.
and yeah, so and I ate it, and I'm not
Yeah.
dead, so
Yeah.
yep.
Sean
Anyway,
has a really good point. I'm just gonna pop this comment up. He has a good point here.
yep.
It wasn't normal, but a doctor wouldn't most likely would have told you something that helped. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I want to say to get diagnosed with endometriosis, they actually have to do a surgery, and they have to put like a camera, from what I understand, a camera inside of you to see if this material is growing in wrong places. So I think now they just apparently more and more girls are feeling this way, and they are telling them to go on the pill, which is the wrong thing. So yes, I agree with that. I've heard more and more girls are experiencing this. I haven't talked to them. I've just heard that on YouTube. Okay. Not many outside the space are sharing answers. That's part of the problem. Yep. Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
I agree for sure.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. I just want to pop this up from our friend Christy, Meeting Wellness.
Yep.
Lioness Lifestyle will schedule a special episode, not on a Tuesday. We know you be grilling, baby. Grilling McDonald's hamburger patties.
Nice.
Okay.
That's what I always thought too. The hamburgers or cheeseburgers or whatever, or I've always heard them referred to as soybean burgers.
Oh, I don't know.
So yeah, I'm not sure, but I have heard that.
Then
keto.
Go to In-N-Out Burger, people.
There you go.
My wife has issues with her cycle, thyroid. I'm 4 months behind everyone in the chat, but I want to say how much I appreciate hearing this. I'm hoping to help her. I hope you help her too. I hope you help her also. I have a video on, I have 2 videos on my experience with my menstrual cycle and what I did to handle that. If you want to share those with her, feel free.
I can imagine, Heather. I'm glad that I do not have to experience it. I don't have to directly experience it. Let's put it that way. But
no, just go take a rusty knife and start stabbing yourself in the and see how that feels.
Right.
If you survive, I'll see you next Tuesday.
Right. Yes. Let's see. So I have another question, actually. So you have a carnivore family. Is that true?
Well, yeah, we're more carnivore than not.
Okay.
Let's see. What would my husband say? Yeah, basically, but he still eats what he wants sometimes. He has no metabolic issues. He's never been overweight. He's totally healthy. My kids are totally healthy. We have fruit for them. Mm-hmm. We have some rice in the house. I don't know how to cook rice. I never liked it. So if my husband wants to cook it, he'll cook it. Like for instance, here's what we ate today in the house. We ate eggs, pork belly, grounded up pork belly nuggets, chicken. And I think that, and the kids had some fruit. Mm-hmm. So if we go outside, like my daughter wants a tomato soup. She showed me a picture saying she wants this soup. It looked like a tomato soup. I'm like, okay, we'll get that at a restaurant. If they want junk food, we let them get that outside. I don't want to force them into this idea that they have to eat this way. And then just when they're a teenager or older in life, just be like, my parents only let me eat meat and now I'm going to eat everything else. Like I don't want them to have a weird idea of how we fed them. And so we let them have some freedom to choose their own foods. Mm-hmm. Or there's a store down the street that we walk to, and there's a thing here called a pastel de pollo. Sounds like a chicken cake. And it's like, I don't know, croissanty sort of fluff, that sort of similar type of bread with chicken inside of it. And there's another one with beef. And we always get that, and they'll ask for a yogurt, and that's full of sugar. So, okay, you guys can eat that. That's fine. But when we're in the house, they're pretty close to carnivore. And even sometimes if we go out for a steak, they'll even order a steak sometimes. Right. So it just depends. Yeah.
It sounds like they're 95% better than everybody else.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. They still get their kid foods. There was like Jacob's birthday party and then another kid's birthday party the next day. And then the aftermath of the birthday parties. It took a while to like just get everybody calmed down. It was really funny. We had like a chocolate fountain. So we served carnivore foods actually at the birthday party, like on a kebab. So it looked like party like. It
Hmm.
was like chicken and meat and stuff like that on a skewer. And then we had fruits on a skewer and a chocolate fountain. After
Hmm.
it was like light switch. As soon as the kids had the chocolate fountain and ice cream, they're like, let's go to the park. And all the kids, and even the security guard is like, the kids are making too much noise.
Right.
And they came so I'm like, oh, they're gonna go to the park. But it was funny because eating the meat and stuff, they were just calmly playing in the house. Hey, Bill, we were having a
Hey,
Lego
Bill.
party. We bought 3,000 Legos or something, so the kids could make Lego stuff and bring whatever Legos they wanted home as like their party favor. And they were totally calm, totally fine. We had like Dory playing Finding Dory on the TV or whatever. As soon as they got the sugar,
Uh-oh.
complete turn around. So it's very funny. It was just very funny to see like kids being cute, having fun, and then crazy in 1 second.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, but yes, I think we're pretty close to carnivore in the whole family, and it's great. And kids grow, but I look at my kids, I'm like, they're growing really fast now. They seem like they just sprouted up recently in the last 6 months. My daughter likes a medium rare steak, so that's nice.
Right, right.
Yeah. Jacob loves the pork belly nuggets and chicken. Oh,
I'm
thanks.
just asking. Just
Him,
asking.
him also. Him also. He just got. So we are like Adam and I are like YouTube twins, and we got monetized in the same live stream, like within 20 minutes of each other. So that was fun. That was yesterday.
Yes. Yes. I think
Bye,
we
carnivore
also hit
snack.
over 1,000
Oh,
subscribers at the same
subscribers on
time
the same
too.
night.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, exactly. That was fun.
Yep, for sure. So I have another question.
Hmm.
Um, carnivore on a budget. How do you handle that?
Don't ask me. Now, the reason I say that, guys, I don't think carnivore is expensive. I think we're spending the same amount of money. We're just not wasting food. And the reason I say don't ask me is because uh, the amount money here is different than in the United States. So I
Mhm.
have no comparison and I don't know how to make it. I can't, I've never done that video because I can't promote that. I have no idea.
Right, right.
Maybe if I go to the US, I'll go to Walmart and I'll do a video at Walmart. So you're gonna buy this meat for $1.99 a pound, and I don't know. It seems like we're spending the same, I guess. We've never really paid attention to how much money we spend on food because it honestly is so much cheaper. I think we spend $400 a month, including going out to eat, maybe 700 at most, and that's way too much money here to be spending on food. But we're a family of four. Like people
Mhm.
don't spend that much money on food here, and I think that 700 was when we went on vacation. So I will just cut that out there. But I think we spend like 400 or 500 a month on food. So it's
Okay.
not fair because I know that that's insane, right? Like insanely cheap
Mhm.
comparatively to what you're going to
Right.
spend in the US.
Mhm. For sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Plus, well, your currency is like that's like $100 million or something, isn't it?
It's over 1 million pesos. Yeah.
Right.
$100 million.
Yeah, I see
I'm a
your super chats
millionaire.
all the time. Alia Wells is super chatted $75 million, and you're
It's
like, oh, that was
pesos.
just 12 cents.
I did do a super chat. I think it was to Dr. Ovadia, and it's like 4,000 pesos. And I checked my phone because it's on my credit card, and I get alerts on my phone. It was like $1.01.
Nice. That's awesome. So we just did the 24-hour fundraiser. I kind of want to get your thoughts overall after it's been a few days here on what your thoughts are on that.
I want to say thank you everybody for coming. I want to thank all of our guests, but I really want to thank. The thing is, we put this fundraiser on, and we to make it happen was a lot of work, and to do it was a lot of work.
Mhm.
15 hours in, I was like, oh, I am a piece of burnt toast right now. I'm toast. It was my idea, but none of that could have been made possible unless you guys watched. So thank you so much. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like if nobody watched, it wouldn't have mattered how much work we put into it to prepare it, any of the guests, and we wouldn't have made any of that money without you guys. And that is amazing. Like, I wish I would have been able to speak a little bit more during the fundraiser and talk a bit more, but I was actually out of my mind trying to track all the money coming in, and I had to get it into one grid so every hour I could update, and that was constant. And the reason it was constant is because you guys kept paying, which is
Right?
awesome. Like I was so happy and so thrilled by the big hearts of people because it was so many people paid, and so many people paid over and over and over and over and over again. And it was like amazing. Even $1. I don't care if you paid 1 penny. That you paid anything was just incredible. And thank you so much. And we're over $40,000. I'm going to look at the GoFundMe right now. So the GoFundMe doesn't equate what we made that day because people are paying for lots of things. Oh my God. Can I show this right now?
Yeah, show it.
Because I have to share my screen. Can I share my screen? Share screen. Okay, here we go. Look at this. Guys, it's literally at $62,000 in the GoFundMe.
Wow.
Everybody, you guys are doing that. That's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much. But I love that it's like around 62,000, like exactly $62,000.
Right, exactly.
And Carrie's goal was 50,000. Honestly, I think it's going to be a bit more than that, but the 62 plus what we fundraised that day, I think it was like 15,000 in super chats. That's crazy. I wonder if we like made a Guinness Book of World Records. Anyways, that's my feedback. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching. All of that contributed. Just being there contributed to making that happen. And if people couldn't pay, being there and liking and sharing and commenting, that also contributed because it brought more people into the live stream. So even the simplest little action, thank you. Don't think you didn't help. Because some people I asked people to comment. I made a post, please comment if you donated at the live stream. And some people said I couldn't. Thank you for being there. That was worth it. That was enough. Thank you. Okay. Because all that teamwork created those funds. There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And sure. Todd, oh my God, Todd made my day.
Yeah, the closer.
Yeah.
Yes. That was incredible.
That was incredible. It was literally like another $3,700 made because he played that game in the last 20 minutes. We made $3,700 in the live stream.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Imagine if we could have kept going for another hour or two. I mean,
I was ready. I was ready at that point. I had slept.
I wasn't.
I know.
I was ready to die. So one hope
I just want to say, hey, Bill, we want you on the Keto Cookout when you're ready.
Absolutely. So one hope says that there's no super chat option for you right now for some reason, and I did go to your stream, and it does not show the super chat.
Does it show on yours?
I don't know. I didn't look. I'm trying to get people to pay you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Let's see. I mean, on your phone. I don't know. Do you want to see if I can get super chats on YouTube? No. He's 1 second. You do have it. You do have it. You have it. Everyone super chat Adam.
Why is yours not there?
I don't know. I must have not done something. I must not click the button correctly or something.
Oh no. Well, we'll get that figured out and we'll do another one. We'll do a 24-hour just for you.
Oh no, I am literally never. Okay, guys, I loved it. I will never do that again.
I agree. I'm right there with you. So, what are your future plans for your channel? You got anything fun coming up or anything interesting?
I'm gonna make it through the end of this month, where I have a lot of live streams scheduled, and then basically next month I've organized my schedule where I'm going to do a live stream once a week at the Keto Cookout, and maybe on Thursday night I will either interview somebody or do a Keto Cookout, a live stream or an interview. And then I got to work on my channel because I haven't posted a video in like 2 weeks now, and I have an interview I'm supposed to post. So that I'm putting some organization in so I can get more content out, because also I like eating organ meats and I want other people to enjoy eating organ meats also, because I think there's a lot of health benefits there and not a lot of carnivores talk about that. And I understand Dr. Chafee says you might not necessarily need to, and various people have various thoughts on it, but if I can prepare some and people try it and they feel better, then hey, so I want to do that. And I've got some good interviews coming up. There you go.
Awesome.
Yes. Oh, I didn't realize we were going live. I thought we were doing a pre-recorded interview. So me and Christy, we're going live on Monday night. Pre-recorded interview.
There you go. Well, hopefully you'll have that super chat thing sorted out. And yeah, because you're probably the most requested person that was not monetized, that where people were like, Alia, I want to send you money. How do I send you money? Right?
Okay, you guys, Adam, you just got a super chat. I'm going to do this one last time.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to do this
Thank
one
you so
last
much.
time. Here's my PayPal.
Much love. Much love. I appreciate you.
I'm doing my PayPal.
When are you going live, Alia? Monday?
Yeah. Tomorrow night with JT. TJ. JT. Welcome. Tomorrow night, I'm going live with JT, and maybe I will have some super chats. You can PayPal me here.
Yes, there you go. I forgot. I was going to post that too.
Oh, you're so nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can also send me Amazon gift cards if you want.
Nice. See, this is why you're the fundraising director, because you do great at this stuff.
Yeah, I don't usually ask for money for myself.
Right.
Like if I'm passionate about something, I can ask for money for it. But if it's about myself, that's not.
Hey, you're passionate about your family. There's no shame in that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Give me money. No, I'm just joking. Oh, okay. I want to say I heard this story recently of Lily Kane. And she explained that she didn't want to have kids, but now she's changing her mind because her husband's helped her to change her mind and various other things. And she had a terrible childhood, and I am so sorry. And I've heard stories of people having terrible childhoods, and I feel for them, because I had a wonderful childhood. Yes, my parents worked so hard. They worked 7 days a week almost. We had very little money growing up. One lesson I learned, and this is totally off the subject of carnivore, I just thought of it and wanted to explain it. My dad would never get food stamps. He hated that. He never wanted to live off the government. So that was at least a lesson for me. Never hustle, make the money you need. And even though we didn't have a lot of money, and we lived off of top ramen and macaroni and cheese, but what I wouldn't trade my childhood for having tons of money in replace of the love that I had as a child. Does that make sense? And I feel bad when I hear this of other people, but my parents did a great job raising me. And even if they weren't there, sometimes we had some very bad babysitters, but there was other loving, adult figures in my life. I had a tutor. She's now 80 something years old. She lives in Chicago. And she was a big part of our life in helping raise us 4 kids. And I don't know why I'm going off on this. I just heard that Lily Kane's a carnivore, and I heard her story of not wanting to have kids, but now she does, because she finally understands love and feels love and understands that a human being is love and wants to generate more love. So I'm happy that I have the opposite experience. Sorry, I don't mean to say it like that, but I had so many loving, caring people in my life. And I just wish everybody can experience that. I don't like it when people don't have a great childhood. And at least those lessons taught me so much that I'm extending that out to my own kids. Oh, that brings up something else. When I do get monetized, what I want to do with my memberships is I want to, so there's 2 things happening in Colombia. There's orphanages for Colombian kids. And if you know anything about Venezuela, in the last year, I think 1 million people immigrated here to Colombia from Venezuela because the situation over there is terrible. So one of the things I want to do with my memberships is, if people want to become a member of my channel, that money, I'm going to go buy carnivore foods and bring them to the orphanages for kids. And Yeah, that's what I want to do. If you super chat me, that's going in my pocket. But if you want to become a member and support my channel, my plan, I got to do a bit more research. I got to do a bit more research on that, but I want to also help other kids. I guess that kind of ties into what I'm saying because, yeah, I see that there are a lot of kids out there that do need help. And I think that I want to help those kids, at least with food, so they can have that much, at least a little bit more happiness. Because if you're having proper food, you can do at least a little bit better.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So a lot of those kids, by the way, I heard that those Venezuelan kids that were orphans, I need to do a bit more research, but I think they were given Colombian citizenship so that they can get adopted because random Venezuelan kids couldn't get adopted. So I think that some things are being worked out, but there is a lot of kids, orphaned kids here. So there you go. Johnny.
Wow,
hi, Johnny.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Johnny.
Oh, look,
I appreciate you, man.
Rolling in the dough.
Yes. And I got to plug these tumblers again. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, these things are, so I like these tumblers and, glasses like this. And these things are definitely on par with like Yeti and all the top end tumblers and products and things like that. And
yeah,
they're customized. Johnny customizes these suckers and they're super, super high quality. Like most of the things that I try to buy, I try to save up and buy something quality. So I don't have to buy junk, like 50 times and it's always breaking. And if you guys buy one of these from Johnny, you're getting super high quality. So
nice.
I want to put
Johnny,
I'll put a link for his shop in the description of the video when we're done here. So
nice.
Thank you, Johnny. I definitely appreciate that.
I'm gonna buy one when I go to the US. Don't know when that is, but I will get one. I'll get one. Oh, I want to say, I know I mentioned that we ate like macaroni and top ramen. We did have some good foods in there as a kid. But
right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Some of us carry stuff from our childhood with us our entire life. Yeah, exactly. I just had a lot of amazing experiences and a lot of love. And what I think I was saying is that I wouldn't trade that love for a lot of money and have no love. Does that make sense? I prefer to have I just had a happy childhood, and I wish everybody could. Not that everything was perfect by far, but yeah, I just learned a lot. So we always do things. My kids have a ton of toys and then they just end up sitting in boxes under the bed and maybe they play with them. They rather just start like gluing them together with their glue guns than like play with them. So we try to give like fun experiences. We try to like go and do day trips and come back and stuff that they're going to remember so that they then remember those experiences and give that to their kids if they have kids. So yeah. And
that's awesome.
Eating carnivore. So they can have lots of healthy little children.
Right. Johnny says, tell Alia not to buy one. I owe her one. There you go.
Yeah, I will. And now, I'll let you know when I come to the U.S., okay? I'll let you know. Or you can send one to my uncle. He receives all my mail.
Right? Patty, thank you so much.
Aww.
That is so nice. I appreciate that.
Stan is now telling me I'm not monetized also. Yeah, we know. We don't know what's going on. They said I was.
Definitely going to help to pay for the editing software and all that sort of thing for the YouTube channel.
Oh, let's see. Guys, I don't know. I think because I read something and I didn't understand it. And that's what happens when you don't understand something. My super chats are now active.
What? You didn't click the button?
No, because it said you don't have to. I read something and it said you don't have to do anything now. What does that mean? You don't have to do anything now. And so I thought,
they're all checked. They're supposed to be. As soon as you hit like enable, all the switches are checked on.
Oh, well,
maybe yours weren't.
It's still not working, but it's still not working, but maybe tomorrow night because I should have pressed it before the Lord.
Well, hey, listen, I think once this ends, then I think super thanks is available on the video and it's like a super chat.
Oh, really?
It's a thanks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but there's so many
Well,
different things to try to
here's what I
understand.
want to do.
I don't understand it all.
I want to do super thanks right now. Thanks for letting me know, or else I would have never figured that out. Thank you guys for letting me know.
You're welcome.
There's my super thanks.
Yes. Thanks, DC
Hello.
Learning to Live. Appreciate you. Yep. All right.
We've got 42 people watching.
Kip.
I've also. Oh,
Kip.
wow. Oh, wow. Wait, is this for me? It's working. Is that for me?
Is it working? Nice.
Wow.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. This is sweet. Unless that means it's working for Adam.
I have no idea. I can't tell you. I
All
don't know
right.
how it works.
I don't know how it works either. Hey guys, so Adam and I are very competitive. So if someone can just give me another $15,
Ollie. Jeez. Oh my goodness. See, this is why I wanted you to be our co-host on the cookout. You're hilarious. That's
oh my
good
god.
stuff.
Good stuff. Oh, thank you, Mike Shaw TV. That's so sweet. You guys are awesome.
That's awesome.
Aw. It's really it's so hot in here. Sorry. Maybe I'm going through menopause.
No, geez.
I'm just
Carnivore.
joking. I think I'm 10.
Eat another ribeye.
Yeah, I'm 15 years out from that, I think. I think I'm 15 years out. Okay, what other questions do you have? Or do we have any questions from any of y'all in here in the chat?
Yeah, that's all that I have for you. Definitely want to try to continue the conversation in terms of the female issues and things like that, for sure.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Anytime. I'm asking if they have any questions. Our lovely listeners.
Right. Questions.
This is a question.
Kip, Kip, do you have a question, Kip? What's your question?
Carnivore Kip.
Yes.
I'm going to tell Stan, it wasn't working, and you inspired me to go and figure out why it wasn't working. So I made it work. Thank you. I wouldn't have, ever figured out why it wasn't working. Actually. Right. I would just assume nobody loves me. No, I'm just joking. If you're here, I know you love me. And
right.
Adam.
What do you edit with, Alia?
If I do something on my phone, CapCut, and I'm trying to learn, but that's I'm using that free, but I paid for Canva. So I'm trying to learn how to edit in Canva, and that's proved to be a little difficult. And I've been doing so many live streams that I haven't, figured out how to edit yet. But ask Adam, because his editing is on point.
Right. It's better than I used to be, I guess. I use a program called Descript. And it uses AI to write out a script. So you load the video into it, and it will actually write out a transcript in a document form. And in order to edit the video, you just, let's say you said or like or something like that a bunch of times. There's a magic wand button that you can press, and it'll actually eliminate every single one of those ums and likes and like a pregnant pause, things like that. It'll remove all that stuff automatically in the actual video itself. Let's say you said a line incorrectly, you can just highlight it and click strike through, and it will actually edit that portion of the video for you. So it's like editing a Word document instead of trying to move things around in the timeline and watch the video and I messed up there, I need to cut that part out. So if you messed up, you just highlight it and strike through, and it's got a bunch of other features too. So that's what I use. Nice.
Maybe I'll look into that. I want to say thank you, Craig. Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are so Craig. Sweet. Aw, this is like my my celebration night, our celebration of super chat. Keep sending them. Okay, so Kip, all joking aside, I wouldn't recommend that Doritos on the carnivore diet, but I would say if you can do cheese, and it's a big if it doesn't stall your progress or cause other problems, toss some mozzarella into the air fryer and you'll get like a big puffy sort of crispy cheese thing, and it might be similar enough. But that's a big if. Oh, we got some more questions now. Adam and Alia, AA for carb addicts. Yes, I love that.
Right.
I love that.
Exactly.
Somebody, what is this? Did you say like a pregnant pause? Pregnant pause.
Yes, pregnant. I don't even know what that means, but I mean, I know what it refers to, but I don't know why people say that.
I don't know why I've never heard that before. But when you're pregnant, you definitely get like crazy brain fog. It's called pregnancy brain, and it's very different. But maybe it would be different for a carnivore than just a random person eating whatever they want. Carney Warrior, question, Adam, what is the name of the editing software? One more time.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Descript. And I think it's like $20 or $30 a month or something like that. But I'm telling you right now that I have zero time to do basically anything, and especially with this 24-hour stream, this crazy idea that I had.
Oh my God.
It
I loved
required
it,
like 2 months worth of
hated it.
preparation, and it was insane.
We did it in
so,
like 3 weeks. We
right.
did it in 3 weeks. And by the way, Adam did so much work. I was like, I don't know how he could possibly do the amount of work that he did, but he did so much work to make that thing happen. So more super chats for
Adam. The only way I could have got it done was with that Descript program. Like it literally allowed me to get stuff done much, much faster. Now I'd like to do it a little bit better than what I did and spend more time on it. But yeah, it was very quick compared to any other editing software that I've used.
I'm going to have to check that out. Maybe it'll make it a lot easier. All right. Carbaholics Anonymous. I love that. That's what we are. We're a big group of Carbaholics Anonymous. Thank you so much, Patty Ann. So sweet. Thank you. I really mean it. I might sound like I'm joking, but oh my God, I mean it. You guys are literally pulling out your credit cards, and I love that.
Fundraising director.
You have to understand that I fundraised for a very long time. I also worked in a call center, and I got a lot of sales of high ticket products. Like in my life, I say that I hate sales, but I love asking for money. I even worked in a dental office, and I loved, oh man, I feel so bad for these people who have $10,000 dental things that need to happen in their mouth, but boy, did I love taking those credit cards. There's a certain personality that is like a salesperson, and I try so hard to get away from it. That's why I don't do that as my work, but it is fun.
So I'm not sure what's going on in the chat, but this is an interesting conversation here from Chad.
Lucky Charms Skipper magically delicious.
They are magically delicious.
Ew, they're disgusting. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked this. Has anyone made a carnivore pizza yet? I did one. I saw an FB with egg and Parmesan crust, no sauce, just meat and cheese on top. It helped satisfy my pizza craving. Yes, well, sort of. We did bacon. My kids wanted pizza on Saturday. Okay, so this is like an example of how we get them to not eat total crap. They wanted pizza when we're out. We usually say yes to what they want, but we've never said yes to pizza. I said, we're going to get the ingredients. We'll make pizza at home. So it's like a crust of bacon, and you cook the bacon in the air fryer first, kind of like weave it together. I could weave it together better because it kept falling apart, but it's bacon, and then you toss cheese on it afterwards and pepperoni. It tastes just like pizza. And we bought like Slim Jims, and we chopped those up and put it on top also as like a salami.
Right.
But I would not recommend, again, the cheese thing, but that's like a perfect thing to feed your kids to get them to not eat pizza. They loved it. They ate so much of that. My husband loved it. So if you can do cheese, that's an option. That's an option. Yay. Thanks, Becky.
Becky, thank you.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
That is awesome.
You guys are adorable.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
That is
good idea. Bacon crust sounds amazing. Yes, you just need to figure out how to like weave it good enough so it can actually be like a crust and not fall apart.
interesting. Yeah. I've never heard of that. I'm definitely gonna have to try that for sure.
Oh, it's so yummy. It's so yummy. It definitely tastes like pizza with the pepperoni on there. Again, but they're kind of like iffy carnivore foods. Like they're kind of like swaying away, but I will do it for my kids for sure.
Right.
Because they don't have these problems and they can eat those things with no problem. The cheese and the pepperoni sort of stuff. I need to not eat those sorts of things. That's when I feel like I'm actually cheating on my carnivore diet. But whatever.
Yep.
Oh, we love you giving us a hard time.
So you say you don't have any issues with pork now?
Okay.
Uh,
Sort of.
you do a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. So, but sometimes I crave it, and I think I'm craving the fat. So, if I do like our pork belly nuggets, like 3 of them with a bunch of eggs, I won't feel queasy afterwards. If I do a bunch of pork belly and just pork belly, I often find myself like lying down in bed and just need to go to sleep to ease
Mhm.
off the queasiness.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
some
I
people
I
can't.
used to be able to eat pork all the time, and
Oh,
since I've
okay.
been eating mainly ruminant meat, and then
Yeah.
we bought that smoker, and I'm like, I'm gonna smoke everything, especially pork butt because it's cheap, so and it tasted amazing, but man, I tell you what, for like 4 or 5 days afterwards, I felt like arthritis pain and just
Oh,
like really
interesting.
yeah, it was like I had ate bread or something. I just
I
didn't
bet
feel very
I
good.
I think it's because of not the pig itself, but what it eats. So
Could be.
I think if they're fed a lot of like soy or corn, that's why, because at least cows, if they're eating the grass, they have like all these stomachs and a detoxification process, but
Mhm.
we're getting probably directly what their body is made of.
Mhm.
Um, so Todd has a good point. So Todd, sorry, Chad. I'm getting names all mixed up.
CJ and Todd.
No, JT. um, So my neighbor recently slaughtered a pig, and we bought some of that meat, and we bought the organs. I bought some of the organs, and the organs didn't make me feel bad at all. They're actually totally fine. I ate the kidney, I ate the heart, and it was no problem. But if I eat too much of the like pork belly, I will feel nauseated. And I say that, but I haven't tried it again to see if it's still the case. But when I do pork belly, I usually do it with eggs, and then I feel fine. I
Right.
feel fine. But my kids can eat a lot of it. They love it. They
Mhm.
love it. And
Yeah,
if
I've
they
drifted
feel nauseated, they don't tell me.
right? I've drifted away from bacon too for some reason, and I think I
Hmm.
think part of it is just the annoyance of cooking it.
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
grease and just
Do it in the air
everything
fryer.
going everywhere, and
No, you got to do it in the air fryer. I learned that on Monday.
but
We
then you
just
got
got
to
an air
clean that
fryer.
up. So it's like I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's true.
It just seems a lot like a pain, but yeah, I drifted away from eating bacon. I mean, I may like Chad says, every couple months maybe max.
Oh
So it's
wow,
just
interesting.
weird. Where
That's weird.
before
No,
when I first started
yeah.
carnivore, it was like I can't get enough bacon, bacon, bacon.
Yeah, no, I don't have that problem. If it's just bacon, I could down a pound of bacon, no problem. Bacon.
Right,
Porkins. Yep, porkins.
Porkins.
It's really good. So when I was a kid, I loved eating liver sausage, and I say this often. And I didn't. I thought it was maybe how everything was, and the fact that it was liver didn't really like click to me. And then I cooked these the pig livers, and I'm like, oh wow, this tastes exactly like the Oscar Mayer liver sausage. So I actually loved that flavor already. So because I was so used to it, I don't know about. I still haven't tried cow liver yet. I have eaten kidneys. I loved it. Thumbs up. Okay.
Yikes!
Yikes. But I will not try Rocky Mountain oysters. They do
Negative.
sell them here.
No thanks.
No, no thanks. All right. Are we done with this chat? Are we done with this
Yes.
live stream? Does anyone else have any questions? We've been doing this for an hour and 40 almost.
Wow. Really? Good lord.
137. Yeah. Good Lord. Yes.
Yes.
Long time. All right. Thank you, everybody. But
Thank you,
we will take.
everybody.
Do you have the random question for me to answer? Or is that just
Oh
the
yeah.
POC
Hang on. I
stuff?
still got
Okay.
this here. I don't have the tongs though. I'm
That's
sorry. I
fine.
brought them back
You can just
inside.
use
I
your.
didn't want to
Just,
get in trouble. So so here we go. I'm gonna get a good one.
okay.
This is a good one. What's the most bizarre pet you've ever considered owning?
Considered owning a monkey, but I used to have. I used to have an iguana.
Okay.
Is that a bizarre pet? I used to have a snake. My dad overfed it, and its stomach
Till
exploded.
Rick visited your house.
Yeah, no, until my dad overfed it when I was visiting a friend, and its stomach exploded. Poor baby.
Oh
We spent like
man.
$100. And remember, I said we didn't have a lot of money as a kid, but we bought the snake, the aquarium, all this stuff. The heating rock. I think we had it for a month. He
Oh
like
man.
it will just if the food's there, it'll eat, and then its stomach exploded, and he gave it a burial in a cereal box. No, but I had an iguana. It was really big, and it would just like roam around the house, and sometimes it would like sit on the back of the couch, and it was like very long. So that's kind of an unusual pet to have around the house, and just like
Yeah.
as if it was like a cat or a dog, and it
Yeah.
would pee and poop in the bathroom. So at least it would just go there. So we would put some newspaper there. But that's really funny. That was my bizarre pet. And no, I
That's
didn't eat
interesting.
it. I didn't eat it. Don't worry.
Right. Yeah. I had an iguana when I was a kid, and until that thing whipped me with its tail, and
Oh,
that hurt like a mother. And after that, I'm like, this thing's got to go. I didn't know that it could actually do something like that. So
Yeah.
now
Oh,
that I know
yeah.
it can do that, this thing's
Yeah.
gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to take it to Lake Michigan and go swimming in Lake Michigan. It had a leash. It was really like a dog.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
Do you
It was
Do you have
crazy.
pictures?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't have
Like-
pictures of the iguana. I'll have
Right.
to ask my dad. Anyways, all right. We keep trying to
All right.
end this thing.
Thank you, everyone,
Thank you.
for
Yeah,
the
thank you
super
for
chats.
coming. Thank you for a random live stream. I will be live with JT at Pokemon Moonshine Family tomorrow night. Feel free to join us. I don't
Awesome.
know what he's going to ask. He's for sure going to ask some interesting questions. So, and I will have interesting answers.
Awesome.
So,
Looking forward to it.
yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.